Okay, let's try this again. So we have company today. So Nino is in his kennel, and he doesn't like being in a kennel. He likes being free. So whenever somebody comes in, he's gonna bark 800,000 times to let them know he's here. In case they didn't know, in case they forgot. So we had to do it there, and I let him out. So because I knew that was next, so I said, let me let him out. But let's start this over. So excuse me if I keep messing with my nose. I have a bump under my nose and it's bothering me. But anyway, today just wanted to talk about what king means to me. So like when I was young, that's what I started to say. When I was young, you heard about king in school and you studied him in Black History Month. And that was good. You knew he had a dream. You know, you knew he was part of the boycott, not truly understanding the Montgomery boycott or any of those things. Then when I was a teenager, I was really into Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and learning of Medgar Evers, more of him. And so, like I said, because all of these people are before my time. And so what I know is I have mad respect because of the things they went through and the things that people went through in that time. So whether it be right or wrong, many of the things they could and I can. And I thank them for it. And that's what leads me to MLK. I'm thankful. What MLK means to me is someone who, as I got older, like I said, and I learned more about him. And I learned more about his fights and more about what he stood for. And I listened to more of his speeches. I had a mad respect for somebody who, in the midst of when you could just buck because you're up against a wall, he understood that we needed equality. We needed all, it needs to be equal for everyone, for everyone. So when I started listening to hey, Lucinda. When I started listening to his speeches, they touched me in a different place. And they hit me in so many different places. And today, this morning, which is something I like to do on a King Day to celebrate, I like to listen to that song. For a king, celebrate, sing, celebrate. So I love to listen to that song. I love to listen to Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday, even though I feel like he wrote it for me, for my birthday. Even though he wrote it years before I was born. But anyway, that's semantics. But I like to do that. And I like to listen to the King's speech. And I like to listen to the King's speech and hear him say it. And so today, this year, I actually read it. And as I read it, it hidden somewhere as you say it. Because I thought of the many things that we have overcome that our grandparents and our great-grandparents couldn't imagine. They couldn't imagine. Some kids right now, their grandparents are at an age where, they know the things in the different forms that are today of racism. But they will never understand or know these days. But we grew up in eras where we learned these days. And so, or we heard of it, or we seen it, or some of the things just really came to pass when we were little. Or we're older now and we can look back and realize how close we were or how our parents were in it or our grandparents lived through it. And so, like I said, as I got older and I listened to speeches, it hit somewhere different. So today I read it and it really hit somewhere different and hit somewhere different in many ways. One, when he spoke of Stone Mountain, just recently I climbed Stone Mountain. And when I climbed it, it was hard. And there were moments, many, where I wanted to quit. And then there were moments where the view was so beautiful that I had to see what the top offered. But also there were moments as I walked through and walked up that I realized there was a time that when we came through here, when my ancestors came through here, it wasn't in peace. It wasn't to climb the mountaintop for joy and for closure or for peace or to release. It was in pain. It was in hurt. And so I thought, when I heard that, I said, wait, I've been to Stone Mountain and I climbed it. And it doesn't matter if the whole town is surrounded by people who don't want me there. I'm there and I did it. So I thought of that's a change. There are blacks who live in Stone Mountain. That's a change. I have sat and fought for things with people of other race and never thought about for one moment other than we were fighting for the same thing, other than we were fighting for a common ground. And so what King means to me is being the change in myself when nobody might believe it. When other people might say, oh, you done sold out, sold under, ran out, whatever. When I think of King, do I think is there still things going on? Yes. But can we travel and stop at a motel or hotel? Now, we all know there's rules to traveling. And nobody should stop anywhere. But we can do things that weren't before. So there has been some changes. We have had African Americans in just about every political seat there is. And that is something when we think of coming from King's Day. So in my lifetime, I've been blessed enough that I've been to Memphis to the hotel where Martin Luther King, very touching, very emotional, but I was young and it was an emotion where it just made you angry. Angry. And then a couple of years ago, which I'm going to actually upload those videos onto my page today, but I actually went to Martin Luther King's original church and sat in there in the pews, in those original pews, and listened to him speak. And I closed my eyes and I imagined if I was there, and it touched a place in my heart. You know, I've been to his museum and I've been to that. But the day we went to go to the house, honestly, I don't remember what was going on. It was still fresh out of, the virus and things just opening back up. It was last year. Yeah, 2021. No, 2020. It wasn't last year. 2020. It was 2020. I went in like July, but we couldn't get into the house. So I have never been into the house, but I learned of even the shotgun houses that were across the street. And to see this beautiful house that the king was born into. And there are tragedies in the king's name, but the greatness is what I'm talking today. And without him or the peace of him or what he stood for or what he brought or what he gave, I wouldn't be sitting here today on a platform that it doesn't matter how it is, I'm on the same platform. So that is already a rise. And in my supporters and friends I meet in the chat, we will all be of different races. We will all be of different, come from different cultures and backgrounds. But we will respect each other and we will stand on common ground. So like I said, here in this kingdom, color is the least of our object. But I had to also talk a little bit before I threw on this. Now they say I tried to look it up on copywritten. But we're going to play a little piece of this. Because before I speak more of just like I said, what the speech does to me, I just want to play this piece. 6 minutes and 47 seconds is how long it is. And some people may stay and listen, some won't. I'm still going to play.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history.
Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. We'll have to start that over. My earphone just picked it up. I forgot I didn't have it in the case.
5 years ago,
we're going to start over.
Great America. I have the pleasure to present to you.
Remember, this is just 6 minutes and 47, so we're going to call this the climax of the speech. The whole speech is powerful, and I recommend everyone read it. I'm sure many have.
As the great demonstration of freedom, America whose symbolic shadow we stand today.
Oops, I think I'll ask me to turn on the whole thing.
That concealed in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak. Long night. The life in the forest snow sad manacles of separation and the chains of discrimination. The Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty.
See, it's a clip. See, it's not the whole speech in one, so it's non-copywritten, so it's in pieces. That's what they would call it, the climax. Yep. They took the Confederate flag down in Mississippi a couple of years ago, so things have changed. They aren't great. And believe it or not, some of these things are happening. We got a long way to go, but we're coming. And that is the greatest part of all of this to me. We'll be made straight. And we still fighting to sing that song with that pride. Let's tell him. You letting freedom ring. Yes, sir. Yes, I will. Yeah, put your eyes before you say it's hard. Powerful. Powerful. And what makes it powerful to me is before I would listen to that type of speech and think of where we weren't. But I understood in thinking about where we weren't, I didn't see where we've come. Where we've come from. And like I said, that speech is over 17 minutes long. And like I said, I encourage, and most of us probably have listened to it, but I listen to it in a different space now. And I'm thankful for that type of a leadership, because what it shows you is just a different way. So don't get me wrong. There are many of leaders that I look up to, but right now I'm speaking of this, which gives us a piece of that. And my piece of MLK is to never stop living for that dream. Never stop living for that. And it may not, just like for him, be in my lifetime. But if I set it out here, then maybe it can be in the next generation. Maybe my children can see it as they raise their children. Or maybe their children will see it as they raise their children. But so, like I said, that's what I think of. But yeah, guys, so this one was gonna be short. I'm just gonna do MLK. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and do some tracing circles and squares with my little nephew. All right, guys, happy MLK Day. I'm sorry if I missed the chat or to say hello or hey. Did even see everybody up here? Hey, how you doing? Hey, everybody. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna get out of here. I just really wanted to share that in that moment and in time with MLK. I really did. So I mean, I feel we live it every day, and we live for the dream, and we live in the dream, and we live because of the dream. So I'm thankful for that, and that's it. All right, guys, I'm out of here.